All right, people at home, we are doing a lab. In the lab, we're taking this ice, we put it in a beaker, and we put it on a hot plate. So we've got ice melting on a hot plate. And this is a thermometer, and the thermometer is attached to a computer. So you can see we just started here, and it's 1.5 degrees Celsius in there. That's very cold. The freezing point of water in Celsius is 0, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But right here, we're melting ice, and it's at 1.5 degrees Celsius. Every 30 seconds, we're writing down the temperature. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different groups going. So we're going to record the temperature every 30 seconds to see how water heats up. Now, you may expect a consistent increase in the temperature of the water, and then you might be surprised by your results. So you can see the hot plate is on. All right, back with more. Okay, so if you look, we're getting a graph going here. We're getting some data points for a graph. And the 0.5s are 30 seconds in. So it says 0.5 means 30 seconds. 1.5 means a minute and a half. So she right now is at 17.5 degrees at, how far are we into it? 6.5 minutes in. So you can see the ice is almost all melted. Still just a touch of ice in there. So what I want you to think about is, what would you expect this graph to look like? Would you expect this graph to look like this? This is the temperature, and this is time. Would you expect the temperature to go up steadily over time? Or would you expect it to be flat and then maybe go up exponentially as time went by? So start to think about this. I'm sorry, my capital T here. This is a capital T. All right. All right, so we're back here, and you can see that now, if you look at the data, her temperature is going up really quickly. It's going up much slower here at the beginning. So you can see the computer going up. And notice that there's no ice left. So once the ice disappeared, the temperature started going up more quickly once the ice was gone. Okay? And you'll see that when you make your graph. Okay, so now you can see we are 14 minutes in. The temperature has been rising rapidly the whole time. We're approaching 90 degrees Celsius, and the water is just thinking about boiling. Now, we know the boiling point of water in Celsius is actually 100. So we're approaching 100 here. And it just means that where the thermometer is, it's still only about 90. Okay? So we're about 14 minutes in. Okay, so we're boiling. And the temperature this water's boiling is 98.6, 98.7. And if you'll notice, we've got the same reading 4 times in a row. 98.6, 98.9, 98.9, 98.7. So the water temperature is not increasing. It's staying the same. So if we keep taking this data over and over, you'll see even now again, it's 98.6, 98.7. It's going to remain steady. Okay, so you're going to graph your data, and I want you to think. Make a guess. If you take ice and you melt it and boil it, will you end up with a graph that looks like this? Or do you think you'll end up with a graph that looks like this? Or do you think you'll end up with a graph that looks like this? So I'm going to post a picture of our data from this lab online, and you're going to graph it at home. Then you're going to take a picture of your graph, and you're going to turn that in as your homework, okay? You just submit the picture from your phone. If you can't submit it from your phone, then upload it to your Google Drive on your phone and then submit that. You can figure this out, people. Okay, so you're going to be asked to graph the data that's in that picture. And first of all, I'm going to show on this piece of paper, when you're graphing this, your graph needs to take up your whole sheet of notebook paper. And there needs to be just enough room to write your temperature numbers down here. Your time numbers down here and your temperature numbers up this side, okay? So let's look at this. Here's how you're going to make the graph. So you are obviously going to make this shape that fills up your whole paper, right? Now, the time is going to go from 0 to 20 minutes, okay? So right here in the middle, right, make a 10. And that way in the middle of this, you can make a 15. In the middle of this, you can make a 5. And now you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 6, 7, 8, 9. And now you can make a nice, neat graph, okay? The temperature is obviously going to go from 0 to the top number on your paper will be 100. So we're going to split that right in the middle. We're going to write 50. We're going to split that right there. We're going to write 75. I'm going to split that right there. We're going to write 25. So now you got 5, 10, 15, 20. And you can fill those numbers out. Does that make sense to you? Right? So that's how you do it. That's how you can make a nice, neat graph. So you're going to turn into me a picture of the graph of the data from the picture that I gave you. Okay? And then we're going to talk about that more tomorrow.